Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Briano, and we're coming to you from a different vantage point today. Today is the day that it's supposed to rain in Southern California because of a hurricane that has moved through the desert southwest. And what they've done here, folks, is they've sprayed a gigantic blanket of chemtrails on top of all this tropical moisture that was supposed to create thunderstorms. So here it is right now with an 80% chance of rain. And the sky has this really, really weird layer on top of it. That's right. The first measurable, sizable amount. I mean, we had a Category 4 hurricane off the coast of Baja heading our way. That never happens. And what ended up happening is it was downgraded to Category 1, no doubt, by superheating the thing. But look at the sky, folks. Look at the chemtrails. Look at this. There's some puffy clouds in the northern horizon. But look at the crap that's been sprayed up there. Let's look to the west. Look at this. This is unbelievable, folks. Look, it's like a dome of chemical aerosols. I don't know how in the world, and then you can see the electromagnetic imprint up there. I mean, I don't know where in the world they get all these materials to dump up in the atmosphere. I really don't understand it. They go to such tremendous lengths to dry this place out. I've never seen anything like this before. Usually, you know, you'll see some lines, but in this particular case, I mean, it is just so pronounced and so obvious. You know, it's literally unbelievable, folks. It is a literal, absolute, amazing display of weather modification, folks. And this is an interesting shot right here to the west, where you can see about 3 different comets. You can actually see kind of see some of the lines going through that right there. This light's about to change, so quite a shot, folks. But anyway, what's going on here is the weather modification is absolutely off the charts, folks. We should have had a large amount of rain out of this system, and instead we get absolutely nothing. Nothing at all, folks. Nothing. I mean, they really, really attacked this one. You know, at this rate, the state of California has absolutely no chance. I mean, they're going to burn this place up. I mean, if we can't even get some basic precipitation to wash the glyphosate off the plants and saturate the soil and get all of the salt that has been deposited in the soil from the tap water that is just loaded up with all these salts from the waters travel through all these canals and the irrigation. We're going to see more tree death continue. It's going to become par for the course, folks. Because what's going on here is just more weather warfare, and no doubt in anticipation of the 5G rollout when they want all the trees gone. You can see the trees have been removed from these sidewalks here, and the ones that they've taken down have not been replaced. You see they're dying. I mean, they're not watering them. The trees aren't getting the precipitation that they need. They build these houses with no yards to speak of, no protection from electromagnetic weaponry that's about to be deployed everywhere. And you look at these clouds, and there's like 4 different levels to the to the arrangement in the sky now. It's really bizarre. I mean, I remember as a child, you would have white puffy clouds, and when it got ready to rain, they'd have this gray underbelly backdrop against a dark blue sky. Now you have no such thing taking place. You have this high level aerosol dispersion That's what you have, folks. High-level aerosol dispersion that's being hit with ground-based systems. And I want to talk about this, folks, because, you know, we talk about a lot of things. But what you're witnessing here is quite possibly, because of the extent of this, this weather modification is being accomplished with signals that are probably being bounced off the dome, off the firmament, folks. You heard me. I don't see how they could actually get enough of the localized units here to undergo such a monumental task of superheating such a large area. But I don't put anything past these people. They have technology that blows most people's minds. But here it is, folks, the commute home. No rain. Sky's got this. If you see these clouds right here, okay, you see these clouds? Well, they're actually not clouds anymore. But what's on top of these clouds and behind these clouds, folks, is a lid of chemtrails. A lid of chemtrails. And you can see the horizon of the chemtrails right there. Okay, let me zoom in on this, and there it is. All right, that's the line of the lid, folks. That's the chemtrail lid line, okay? And then there's some moisture trapped below this thing, got nowhere to go. It can't go up because it's blocked. They block the convection, which results in the cooling. And what ends up happening, and by the way, there's a lot of humidity. I got the AC going in my car, and it's fogging up my windshield right now. So take a look at this. There's a lot of humidity right now. They've trapped the humidity close to the ground. There's a nice big cell tower for everybody to look at. You know, they do this everywhere. California is no exception. California is just a place where a lot of things are done out in the open because people are so stupid that they think everything's just normal here and they accept it. Because California has a very large slave mentality population. It's becoming a welfare plantation, so to speak. And that is the plan, folks, is to turn California into one gigantic Agenda 21 welfare plantation. But to those of us who have lived here our whole lives, to watch what is unfolding happen is rather disheartening, it's disturbing. Because years ago, this time of the year when we'd have a borderline El Nino summer like we had with warm water temperatures in the Pacific, we would get these rains, folks. We would get these rains. They would come in the fall. I remember being at concerts in October down at Irvine Meadows Amphitheater, and it'd start raining in the middle of October during a concert. I remember that distinctly. It happened more than once. I remember rain in the summertime in Southern California. That was a common occurrence. We'd get subtropical moisture come through here from the monsoonal moisture that comes up from the deserts. And it would rain because they weren't messing with it. Now, heck, they never leave it alone now. I mean, look at this. Look at this stuff. What is this? What kind of weather system is that, folks? Really, really bizarre. And if you look at these strange clouds up there, you get a glimpse of that one. I mean, what is that thing with the tire tracks in it? I mean, what is that thing? They spray some steel pellets up there. They're getting hit by a magnet. Another church with a cell tower underneath it. Praise the Lord as they cook the neighbors, right? Why don't you give this guy a call? He put his phone number on the sign over there. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, folks. You know, the once great Golden State has become a proving ground for the eugenics agendas. And they're treating all the subjects on this welfare plantation as wind-up toys and guinea pigs. I've seen some very, very strange examples of weather warfare. And, you know, the flag can fly all at once, but it's losing its symbolism and its meaning as we speak because people are not fighting this. Fighting this is what we need to do. We need to wake people up to what's being done. And what's being done, unfortunately, is already well advanced in terms of the timeline. They've got a lot of people moving out of the countryside and into the compact cities, ladies and gentlemen, because that is the goal. The goal is through weather warfare and directed energy weapons igniting fires and controlled storm systems, is to re-urbanize the United States by concentrating vast amounts of population in the compact cities. You can see right now the sun's kind of peeking through this chemtrail party. I don't have a good vantage point of it now because of the tree line. But you know, folks, we gotta make a point here, and that is we cannot continue to accept this insanity as the new norm. I mean, this is such obvious poisoning of the atmosphere, it's beyond comprehension. This weather system should have had me backed up in traffic from flooded streets right now, and that's a fact. But it's done no such thing because it wasn't allowed to. And so what we're facing here now is just another day in Southern California. And I know we got the palm trees. I mean, I cannot believe the amount of humidity that's in the air. I mean, I can't even get this thing to defrost. It's unbelievable. Let me throw the defrost on. See if that'll knock it down. There it goes. But, you know, you look at these clouds and the sky is covered with this stuff, folks. It's not dark right now, folks. And that sky's got this weird orangish tint to it because it's now starting to trap all the oxides of nitrogen from the automobile exhaust underneath this big dome they've sprayed on top of us. That should be a blue sky, folks. It is still daylight in Southern California. And what we have here are more clouds. Now, as we look to the east, you can see some of the blue, okay? Over here hasn't been sprayed, but over here has. Do you see that? You see the difference? It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's a little bit more of a good example of some clouds. But, you know, they really let it roll today, folks. That's all I can say. They let it ride. And here's a little glimpse of California traffic, ladies and gentlemen. Orange County, California. This is the 91 freeway at rush hour. Actually, I think we're past the rush hour right now. But it's still stacked up. You see the surveillance grid cameras. Yep, this is it, folks. This is what they've done to us. They've put us in the cage and they're about to shut the water off. Oh, you could go home and microwave your Hot Pockets and watch your favorite cartoon show tonight. And your wife can go into the kitchen and break out the Betty Crocker and whip up a set of brownies and put some frosting on it and rub that Victoria's Secret lotion all over her skin as she cozies up next to the Wi-Fi router and plays with her Netflix. But look, meanwhile outside, the end of plant life is taking place because they've sprayed nothing but desiccants from here to Kingdom Come. I'm going to pan to the southeast here, folks. You see a little blue? Now it's gone. I'm going to pan to the north. It's all gone now. It's all gone. Okay? You've got now you're seeing a the west is behind me, by the way. I'm going to turn this camera around. Okay, the west is behind me. But what you can see here is the oxides of nitrogen are trapped in the lower levels of this dome of chemtrails that they've sprayed over Southern California. Normally that photochemical component dissipates because it has nowhere nowhere to hold it. It just kind of blows away. You'll see it on the horizons. But in this particular instance, they've put a lid on the smog. And you know what? The air quality's been great, but this certainly doesn't help it. And as you can see, what would normally be the San Bernardino Mountains right there are just totally covered in chemtrails. And you can see to the east here a very strange phenomenon taking place, and I'll try to zoom in on it. But that would be the Santa Ana Mountains, and what the heck is all that all about over there? That's some sort of a bizarre reflection. Really weird sky tonight, folks. Just a really weird sky. I've lived here my whole life. I know the weather like the back of my hand. I've driven these roads for decades, folks. I know what the seasons look like. I know what the sky is supposed to look like. You know, California's weather is awfully predictable, folks. And what they've done here is just so tragic. It's such a shame. You know, there's so much beauty here. The weather's amazing. The soil is amazing. It's so easy to grow things here. You know, you can go fishing, you can go to the mountains, you can go hiking, mountain bike riding. There's so many things to do here. There's so many nice restaurants, places to shop. The economy's good. You can still find a job if you need to find a job. But they're doing things to this place that the average person is not aware of. They're not paying attention, ladies and gentlemen. They're not paying attention to these weird anomalies in the sky, folks. And I'm not looking at flying saucers here. I'm just looking at these bizarre cloud formations that have these colors that just, I mean, look at the smog in the clouds here. Look at the amount of oxides of nitrogen that are having a photochemical reaction in the moisture barrier that is backed up against the ceiling of aluminum metallic nanocompounds that have been sprayed to desiccate the subtropical moisture flow that's coming into Southern California. Look at this. Can I beat a dead horse anymore? I mean, I'm just going to keep filming this because you never know what you're going to see. We're heading just about due east again. And you're not going to have as much of the photochemical oxides of nitrogen rust color because the sun's kind of dipping away. But you know, over here you can kind of see some of the pronouncement of the chemtrails. But like I said, over here it's just so obvious. You know, the sky is orange. We've got an orange sky going. This never happens, folks. And there's not a fire burning. What they've done is they've put the ceiling on this stuff, probably about 10 or 12,000 feet, and it's trapping all of the pollution. As these pollutants are exposed to the sunlight, as the sun dips behind the horizon, you have all these refractive anomalies here. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, I'm looking north, and you would think the sun's setting there. If you look behind me, the sun has just set in the west. And if you look behind me, that's due west, folks. Alright? The sun's over there, but it looks like the sun's over here because it's reflecting off of the metallic nanocompounds to the northwest and to the north. Looks like there's a sunset taking place to the northeast. Now, if we pan east, it fades out, but if we pan to the south, there's even less of it. But once again, I want to reiterate, folks, that we're looking northwest right now. Excuse me, northeast, north, northwest, and due west. And let me tell you something, folks. The sun is setting in the southwest. We're entering the fall. What is that? It just goes to show how much metal's in the atmosphere at a high altitude. It's trapping the photochemical smog components as well as the metallic nanocompounds, refractive abilities and reflective abilities. Water vapor doesn't behave like this, ladies and gentlemen. It simply does not. They've put the LED lights everywhere. You know, the roads are still kind of rolling. It takes me, I don't know, 30 minutes to get home. You know, there's still a decent standard of living here, folks. But it ain't gonna last. Because if the eugenics agendas continue on the trajectory that they're on, this place is not going to be habitable for someone that's awake. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to vet this place and get everybody that's awake out of the way. That's why they've opened the border and they've let everybody in and gave them all a bunch of free stuff. And made everybody that is of any means and any awareness a one-way ticket to another state. But I have news for you, ladies and gentlemen. You can't run away from this problem. If you're living in California, if you think you can just run away from this, it's going to come to haunt you where you live. Because this is the model, folks. And unless we stop this, your state's next. And guess what? Wouldn't it be horrible to live in a bankrupt state with crappy weather and no work? At least in California, we're a bankrupt state with great weather and lots of work and lots of stuff to do. I'd hate to think how many people are going to be relegated to their Xbox or their video game system for those long, dreary winters. And the only thing we can look forward to is what flavor Hot Pocket's coming out of the microwave. Look, we got to fight for this place. We got to fight for our families, folks. And we got to fight for the future. And this is Joe Imbriano, and one of the ways we do that, folks, is exposure. I'm going to sign off for now. God bless all of you. Open your eyes while you can still open them.